Hey book besties, welcome to my October TBR. It feels so weird to actually be sitting here and filming a TBR video because I haven't filmed one since June and I've just been in the biggest reading slump ever. But I am back and I have got my TBR jar full of reading prompts, which Shelby and I updated the prompts, so we have some new ones in here. So hopefully we get some new prompts picked out for my October TBR. I am so excited, and hopefully I'll be able to incorporate some mystery and thriller books in here as well because spooky season is October. But yeah, let's pick out my October TBR using my TBR jar. Our first reading prompt, I'm like digging in there. I'm gonna have to take something from the top because I can't. Okay. Our first reading prompt is a book with a flower on the cover. My mind straight went to Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score because this is a 5-star book prediction, and obviously it's got like little, I think they're daisies. Are they daisies?
They're daisies.
Yeah, daisies on them. So I can finally start the Knock 'em Out series. So this is a top contender. I probably will end up picking this.
If that's the one that your heart went to, like, choose that one.
My brain went straight to Things We Never Got Over.
Then
you know
choose
what? Normally I try to go for a few other options, but my brain went straight to Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score because I was planning on reading this one in September, but I just didn't get any time. And also some of the books that I read on here were like 400 plus pages, and this one is also like 400 plus pages as well, like almost 500. So I didn't want to overdo it with the long books in September after getting out of a slump. I'm gonna go with Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. So if you don't know, this is a small town romance. It's the first book in the Knock 'em Out series. There are 2 other books. I do have the second book, and the third one came out last month, so I really need to start this series. I'm a huge small town girly, so I think I will really like this. Plus it's a 5-star prediction, so I think we're off to a great start. No. Okay, well, it was meant to be because one of the prompts fell out while I was shaking the jar, so I'm just going to use whatever's here. A book with Asian rep. I love this prompt. Okay, so for the Asian rep prompt, I've decided to go with Twisted Hate by Anna Huang, and I'm so excited because these are the steamy lit special edition covers and how pretty. So the Asian rep in this one is Anna Huang is Asian, and so is the main male character Josh. He's also Asian too, so we've got a double Asian rep included in this book, so I'm really excited. Plus I have read Twisted Love and Twisted Games. Twisted Games was my favorite in the series so far, but Twisted Hate is a 5-star prediction because the main female character, Jules, is my favorite so far based on the first 2 books that I've read. And this is an enemies to lovers romance. I've heard from so many people that this is one of the only enemies to lovers contemporary romance that does the enemies part properly, which I feel like you don't really get too much in contemporary romances. So I'm really interested to see how this one is like. And it's also enemies with benefits to lovers, so that's going to be very interesting. I love that so far the 2 books that I've picked out in this TBR are 5-star predictions, which is so unplanned, but I love that for me. Our third prompt. Oh, it's a new one! A book that you've been putting off.
Oh.
I feel like there's a lot of books that could go into this prompt. A book that I've been putting off my entire physical TBR.
Yes.
Every book on my TBR. My brain went to another big book, but I'm not gonna do it. But my brain initially went to From Lukov with Love, but this is another thick book, and I am not committing to that right now. But this is a book that I've been putting off because it's long, but it's one that I want to get to, but I don't think I'm going to add this to my TBR because realistically I know that I'm not going to read it because this one is also over 500 pages. I haven't necessarily been putting off this book, but I've been putting it off since I bought this book last year to read in October for spooky season. I don't think I'm going to be getting another prompt that will match this, so I'm going to go with this book. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. You guys know the Good Girls Guide to Murder series is one of my favorite books of all time. She came out with this book last year and I wanted to read it in October, but I got it after October, and so I've been putting it off until October 2023. So I think this is definitely going to be on my TBR, and this is definitely going to be a book that I will read in October. If it comes around my October wrap-up time and you don't see this book on there, feel free to yell at me in the comments because this needs to be read. And also Shelby and I are going to be buddy reading this book, so it's going to be so fun. And what's so cool about it, okay, first of all, it's it's a mystery thriller. But it's following 6 friends and they're like in this RV and for like 8 hours. Okay, so the RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere and someone is out there and someone wants one of them dead. And they've got 8 hours until dawn and the 6 friends must escape or work out which of them is the target. And it just sounds so cool. And also what's really cool is that the book is like spanned out over, like I said, 8 hours, but like they all have different parts that kind of split up into the 8 hours. So I think that's really cool, especially if you want to read it in the 8-hour period, which is I think something Shelby and I are gonna do when we do buddy read this book. So I think that's gonna be so fun. Like picture us reading this book like on Halloween night or like the day before Halloween. That would be such a vibe. So 5 Survive is gonna be going onto this prompt because it has technically been a book that I've been putting off because I've been putting it off to October. Okay, our 4th prompt is a book with a summer setting. Well, this isn't really a spooky vibe, but we are going to summer here in Australia, so it works, and I definitely do have a lot of books that do fit into this prompt. For the summer setting prompt, initially I was gonna go with The Summer I Turned Pretty, but I'm saving that for closer to summer, so like November, December time, or even January, like because I'm going on holiday again. I think for this prompt I'm gonna go with My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I'm a little nervous honestly going into this book because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, more bad than good, but what intrigues me about this book is that it's a romance, spicy romance, but it's got a murder mystery plot line going into it. So we followed this girl who is like very into true crime, and the vacation that she's on, someone dies, and then there's this bounty hunter that comes in trying to investigate what's going on, and then she tries to get involved because she thinks she knows everything because she loves true crime and tries to solve this mystery. And I think it's sort of Grumpy Sunshine, enemies to lovers as well. I'm not too sure, but that's kind of what I know about the book. The premise sounds really interesting, like a romance book, but the mystery is a side plot and it's also spicy. So I can see where it could go wrong, but I'm interested to give it a go and see what I think. But I do know I am a little nervous going into it because I have heard quite a few not so good reviews, but hopefully I do like it, or hopefully it's not too unbearable. Hopefully I don't DNF it. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, I don't know how to do this one. Okay, so this prompt is a booktok book generator picks my book. I feel like that's going to be a really interesting one, so hopefully the generator picks a book that I have on my physical TBR, because obviously that would be like really helpful. So yeah, this is a fun one because I don't think I've seen anyone have this prompt in their TBR jar videos. So okay, Shelby used the booktok book generator to pick my book for this prompt, and we got, or I got, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, and I am so excited because, well, first of all, I don't have the book physically with me because I'm gonna borrow it from Shelby because she has the book. I am really excited about it because I read one of her books last month and I actually enjoyed that one, so I think I'll really like this one. And also I think this one has long distance rep and time travel, so it's like a fun little contemporary romance, but like with a little bit of a magical aspect to it, which I think will be so interesting. So that is the next book on my October TBR. We're gonna do one last prompt, so we'll have 6 books in total for my October TBR. A book with a pink cover. This is my pink shelf over here, so we've got quite a few options. For the book with a pink cover prompt, I have 3 options right here. So I have Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read a TJR book in September and I rated it 5 stars, so I'm kind of wanting to hopefully read another TJR book, so this is a top contender. And then I also have See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This is like a time loop situation, which I think could be really fun, but also has the risk of it being repetitive, so there's a downside of that. This is another contender. And then the last book that I have would be a reread, but that's only because I haven't read the sequel yet and I really want to read the sequel, and that's It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I read this book, first time I read it I think was in 2021, and I remember I really liked the book, so I'm interested to see if I still like it now. But I do really want to read It Starts With Us as well. I feel like I'm like one of the last people to read and finish that little duet. But this also has bonus exclusive content, so I haven't read the one that has the exclusive content in there, so I think that would be really fun. I think honestly at first I was like, I don't feel like reading It Ends With Us because I don't feel like rereading a book, but now because I remember that this one has exclusive content and because hopefully it will motivate motivate me to read It Starts With Us, I kind of gonna go with It Ends With Us. But I'm kind of tossing up between these two. Let's ask Shelby, which one do you think I should read? Because I'm stuck.
Look, I'm a big fan of Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I want to go with that one.
Okay,
plus that's a pretty cover for me.
I know, right? It is actually so pretty. It's the US one. Okay, well, Shelby helped me out heaps because I would not have been able to pick because I'm indecisive. So for the pink cover prompt, we have decided to go with Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I'm really excited about because Taylor Jenkins Reid has actually been one of my favorite authors, to be honest. I have loved every single book that I've read by her so far, so hopefully I love this one as well. And the cover is actually really pretty, definitely fits the pink vibe. All right, let's do a final review of the books that we've chosen for my October TBR and the prompts that went with it. So for a book with flowers on the cover, we have got Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. For a book with Asian representation, we have got Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. For a book that I've been putting off, I've got Five Survive by Holly Jackson. For a book with a summer setting, I've got My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. For a BookTok book generator picks my book prompt, I have got One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. And last but not least, for a book with a pink cover, we have got Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So that concludes my October TBR. Stay tuned for my October wrap up at the end of October to see if I actually stuck to my TBR. Fingers crossed, let's see. And also, like I said, my September reading wrap up will be posted in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. And let me know if you guys have read any of the books that I've just showed you on my October TBR, spoiler free of course. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed watching, please give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. I post new videos every single week, and I will see you all in my next video, which will be my September wrap up. Bye.